Welcome, everyone. I am here. It is April 21st, 2021, and I am alive. That is right. I said I am alive. Oh, my God. I am finally back after a brutal week, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But I'm here, and we're going to make all of this work. We're probably just going to have about an hour-long show. Again, because I'm still not fully recovered. I am, I got a bad cough, man. I got a bad cough. So I apologize if I am muted for a moment or anything like that. Is because I'm coughing up a lung. Okay. But feeling good, feeling great. Getting back to being normal. It's great. It's great. It feels good. It feels good to be back. Warrior, how you doing, my friend? JVOJ, you as well. Jaden, Obi James, Reader of Truths, how you doing, my friend? Flash is here as well. No hacks. How are you guys doing? How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing great, man. I hope you guys are staying healthy. Hope you guys are staying safe. Because this shit sucks, man. To say the least, man. This shit sucks. But it feels good to be back. Feels good to be doing this again. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. You know, I was looking at my Dynamite shows because when you schedule these live streams, you can essentially just reschedule kind of like one that you've already made. So it's good for like tags. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And the last one I did was on March 31st for Dynamite. So it's been a while since we've had a Dynamite show. Because, you know, they had the takeover one, and then I didn't do one last week because I wasn't feeling well. So kind of crazy. It's been a while for AEW, but they had a good week in the ratings last week. So hopefully that carries over this time as well. I believe if I remember correctly, it was like 1.2 million viewers. Pretty good in the demo as well. So hopefully they're able to carry that over this week because NXT sure as hell did as well. They were up about 40,000 viewers and they were up 1 point in the demo. So wrestling's going great. Well, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, to say the least. Ashton says, all right, I'm gonna try to do this. All right, ready? Ashton says AEW has returned and is headed to the moon. Elmer says, welcome back, AEW. It's been a week since you did a post show and I've missed your streams. Glad to have you back and hope you're feeling better. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It feels good to be back as well. It felt really weird not doing these. Like, I'm so used to just doing them and hanging out. But you know, I'm back. I shouldn't be stopping anytime soon. I think I'm pretty much over it here, other than a cough that I have randomly developed, which doesn't make any sort of sense in the world because the whole entire time I had COVID, I did not have a cough whatsoever. But now that I'm like done and over it, I got a cough. So I don't know. I'll try to make it work through this show. I got some cough drops here. I got a little bit of the bubbly, but not that kind of bubbly. Obi James says thoughts on Adnan Virk. He sounds like a sportscaster to me. He's very, I don't know if monotone would be the correct word to use for him, but he that excitement isn't there that you need in wrestling to help get you into those exciting moments, because exciting things can happen on your screen and you know that they're exciting, but at the same time, when you have someone hyping it up and you know being excited about it as well, I feel like it adds a whole other layer to it, and that's currently missing. Not that there's really anything exciting happening on Monday Night Raw at the moment, but you kind of get it, you know. He butchers a lot of stuff. But you know, it's only his second week. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think he's doing okay for the position that he was randomly thrown in. And the shows just kind of are weird as hell. So I don't know. Good for him, you know, that he's got this position. Hopefully he's able to get a little bit better and stick it out. Now, if we're talking on the other side here with Pat McAfee, I thought he was doing great as well. I know that he was pretty harsh on himself and he didn't think he did very well, but I enjoyed him on commentary. I enjoyed him. I think that he'll grow into that spot very well. I really do. Ashley says, I got to be honest with you, tonight's Dynamite didn't feel like your typical AEW episode. Something seemed off. I didn't mind it. I'm trying to think if I don't really feel like anything felt off. I mean, I was, you know, on a phone call for a lot of the beginning of it. But I thought it was okay. I didn't think that it was anything crazy. I don't think anything spectacular happened this week whatsoever. This was pretty much just an episode. You know, I feel like this is your standard cookie cutter episode here of Dynamite, which is kind of crazy. I thought that they would have went a little more in depth to Rebellion, because I mean that is kind of a big deal and that is on Sunday, but they didn't really talk about it much. There was a commercial and Kenny briefly mentioned it, I believe, But other than that, they didn't really deep dive into it that much, which I was kind of shocked for. So now that I have mentioned that as well, there's going to be a Impact Rebellion giveaway tomorrow on my Instagram account. I'll probably post it sometime in the morning. I'll probably just schedule it or something like that. And yeah, I'll pick a winner at the end of Impact tomorrow. One lucky person will be able to watch Impact Rebellion for free this Sunday. Shout out to Fight TV for hooking me up with a code on that. I'm probably not going to cover Impact tomorrow. I'll probably just kind of pay attention to it. And then, like I said, I will pick a winner afterwards. Reader Truth says, so Blood and Guts is going to be a one-match show. That's what I saw. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that is a very good idea. I don't think that's a very good idea, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, as long as the show's short, but I mean, if we're going to have a 2-hour show, no, I don't think that works. I don't know how you could have guys beat the hell out of each other for 2 hours straight. I don't think that works. I don't think that works. So maybe they'll add a card or a match to the card or something, at least 1 or 2 more, at least maybe 2 blood and gut matches. I don't know. You know, unless something happens afterwards. So, you know, maybe like so Blood and Guts is the only thing that's going to be happening on a 2-hour show. Maybe the first 30 minutes, kind of promos, warming you up for the match, entrances. So the match, you know, about 30 minutes has passed, then the match happens. The match is about an hour long or something like that. And then towards the end, maybe you have some sort of Bullet Club invasion, some sort of invasion along that lines that can soak up a little bit of time afterwards. I think maybe you could get it to work, but one match, just the match. God, man, I don't know. I really don't know. Rocco says, I think there's a reason that they haven't brought it up on AEW yet. I think it has something to do with the storyline. Fair enough. Fair enough on that one. Elver says, I thought the TNT title match was pretty good, and I love for Jungle Boy to eventually hold the title in AEW. Me too, man. Me too. Jungle Boy is great. Main event Darby Allin. Main event 2 weeks in a row. Good to see. Very good to see. Darby Allin is fantastic. Jungle Boy is fantastic as well. So good to see these guys main eventing the shows. Darby Allin finally defending that TNT Championship. You love to see it. He held on to it so long when he was in that feud with Sting and Team Taz. So it's always really good to see him finally defending it before he inevitably loses it to Miro. That's your next TNT champion, ladies and gentlemen. Miro. That's right. Philip, how are you doing, my friend? Says Christian looks great. I agree, man. I've been very impressed with Christian. Very good, man. Very, very good. Reader Truth says Darby does great in the ratings when you look at the quarters. I'll have to check that out. I don't really deep dive into the quarter ratings or anything like that, but maybe that's something I'll do in the future. Iqbal says main event Darby Allin is greater than main event Jey Uso. There you go, man. There you go. I'm digging that. Elver says, I thought Miro was going to attack Darby after the TNT title match was over. That's what I thought too. That's what I thought too. I thought that would have been a great end to the show. You know, like, we could talk more about this later if we want to. If we want to deep dive into this, or if we have time or not, whatever. I don't really care. But this whole thing with Sting being involved in like everything but never having matches is kind of weird to me. Like, we've seen so this whole Sting and Luchasaurus thing, like, yeah, Luchasaurus kind of barely in a way helped up Jungle Boy to get him back in the ring, and then Sting just like walks up over to him and just like clotheslines him. Like, bro, chill. Like, I don't think you guys need to be battling over something like this. It was just really weird to me. And the reason why I thought they did it is I thought they wanted them out there so that Miro could come out and attack, and that there would be no one there to protect him. So I thought that is the the reason they did it, but turns out it wasn't Miro. It was Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and he just came back out. But so did Lance Archer. So what, like, are we gonna get Sting in Lance Archer? Is that what's going on? Are we gonna get Sting and Luchasaurus? Like, are they just testing the waters to see like if people are gonna be like, oh yeah, like Sting and Luchasaurus, yeah, and then like finally pull the trigger? Are they just gonna have him wrestle at special events? So maybe the next match we get for Sting is Double or Nothing. I don't know, but it's just weird to tease this stuff all of the time and not really have an end goal in sight. I guess maybe they have one, but for us, it's not necessarily so clear. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird to see every single week. Warrior says Sting just trying to kick someone's ass unprovoked is hilarious. Yeah, like it didn't even look like Luchasaurus knew what the hell was going on. Like he just like clotheslined him, like, and he just like kind of slowly walked back up to the stairs. Like he didn't drop down or anything. I wonder if it's just kind of like. I don't know. I wonder if he was expecting that to happen or what. I don't know. It looked so weird. The whole thing looked so weird. Leroy says, congratulations to Ronda Rousey on her pregnancy. Yes, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Shout out to her. So it looks like, that person was a little bit wrong saying that. Oh, and that person was Nick Khan. Like one of the head people of WWE who said that she would be returning sooner rather than later, and that doesn't appear to be the case considering that she's now pregnant and she's gonna be out for quite a while. And if I remember correctly, she doesn't have a contract anymore unless they extended it somehow. I don't know. Asher says, I just saw a dinosaur fighting with a crow. There's a sentence I'd never thought I'd say. Yeah, or you could say dinosaur fighting an evil paint daddy, or what do you call him? An evil face paint daddy. Although I did see someone else say an emo, so it could be an emo face paint daddy or an evil face paint daddy. I don't know. Evil is what I heard, but I don't know. Maybe other people heard emo. I thought that was hilarious. And man, I'm so happy for Miro. I'm so happy for Miro. He's gonna kick some ass, and he's gonna take that TNT Championship away from Darby Allin. That's just the way it be. That's just the way it be. Shelby says, my man AEW the GOAT, how are you? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hopefully you were doing good as well. Glad to see you guys here, after I've been gone for a week. Leroy says, more like a dinosaur fighting a scorpion. There you go. Asher says, evil emo. Evil Uno's long lost brother. There you go. What a team that would be. Or a rivalry that would be. JBOJ says, apparently they're trying to get fans back for SummerSlam. I'm hoping it happens. Me too, man. Me too. I cannot wait. We need fans back, man. We need fans. And like more so than anything, I want the fans back there so that they're forced to step up their game. And I'm more so talking about WWE, obviously, at this point. The fans aren't going to let that stuff slide on TV. They're going to chant your whats, your CM Punks, your AEWs, your, whatever it is they need to chant if you're pissing them off. So, the sooner the better. The sooner the better, man. Basili says, I think I speak for everyone when I say it was a long week without you, AEW. Glad you and your fiance are doing better, and welcome back, Keeper of Truths. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long week for me, to say the least. It was weird not doing these shows. It was really weird. I really wanted to try to do one yesterday, but I still wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I'm having fatigue still, and nauseous. I'm nauseous sometimes. It's hard to eat at the moment, so it's kind of weird. This whole thing has been a complete roller coaster. It's been almost something different every single day. Almost every single day I've had it. So, but I'm good now. We don't have to quarantine anymore. Thank God. We can get back into the world and do things, and I can start working again, and I feel good enough to be doing these as well. So, just looking, says AEW, saving us from watching Raw and SmackDown every week. Oh, yeah, man. Raw and SmackDown. As of Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm not watching these shows anymore. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it anymore. But, you know, I'm kind of like a business. So I kind of don't have a choice. I feel like it's my obligation. I feel like it's what I'm here to do. So for now, I'm probably just going to continue it. I'm not going to be very happy about it. Of course. I've thought of some other things. You know, I've thought about maybe just hanging out and doing some sort of gaming streams. You know, maybe like on my gaming channel instead of, well, we could do like a watch along, but I'll be playing a game or something and we can kind of watch Raw at the same time and talk about it as it's going on or something. I thought about doing something like that, or just covering it, not doing post shows and doing like videos of it. But I think I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing at the moment, at least for now. I don't know. It sucks. I say that because I'm like days removed from watching it, but come Monday, I'm going to be irritated again, probably. Just like it says, the only reason I stopped watching was because of you. Now I got an excuse not to. I feel you. I think a lot of people feel that way. Leroy says, watching Raw and SmackDown feels like less like a pleasure and more like a chore. Yeah, man. For real. For real. It really does. You know, like, I started doing all of this because I loved it. I loved watching wrestling every single week. I loved things that were going on. And now I find myself like hating it. Like every single time it's Monday, I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, I gotta watch this show. I'm like, man, come on, like, give me a break. And you know, I was thinking like, all right, you know what? It's the Raw after WrestleMania. All right. It's gotta be huge. It's gotta be. Ooh. No, it was not. No, it was not. Basili says, exactly to me, how do you fail Samoa Joe? He kicks ass in the ring, on the mic, hell commentary too, and you ruin him. Oh, God, man. I haven't even had an opportunity to talk about that. Yeah. Shelby says, you make Mondays great. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can scroll back down here. Let's see if I can get here. Where's all this madness? Okay. Let's talk about this. I'll talk about this very briefly because, like I said, I'm only going to be here for about an hour for today. Okay. So, Black Thursday comes around. WWE has come to terms on the release of Samoa Joe, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, and Wesley Blake. So, let's touch on these ones before we move on. Samoa Joe? Damn! Really? Wow. Samoa Joe. Now, I have a feeling that this was more mutual than anything else. What I had heard rumblings that Samoa Joe wanted to wrestle again and that WWE would not clear him. So, I think that is the reason why Samoa Joe left. I don't think he was happy sitting on the commentary team anymore, even though Samoa Joe was very good at commentary. And you know, it's kind of messed up because when we found out that they were changing up the commentary teams, we found out that Samoa Joe was no longer on commentary. So a lot of people were like, oh yes, they got that Birdman hand rub. They're like, yeah, baby, Samoa Joe, he's going to show up. He's going to attack Bobby Lashley. He's going to attack someone. He's going to be the big surprise for Raw after WrestleMania. Psych. It was actually the Retribution, T-Bar, and Mace. Jesus Christ, man. And then Samoa Joe gets released. Same week. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Chelsea Green. Next up on the list. How? Now, I could suspect that this one is because of injuries. I don't know. She did make an appearance twice, and she did get injured on both of those. So it could be because of that, but man, I feel so bad for Chelsea Green because all she talks about is wanting to be in WWE. This was the end goal for her, and she finally made it, and it unfortunately, it didn't work out. Luckily for her, Chelsea Green is extremely talented, and she has 2 prime places that she could show up. We have Deonna Purrazzo over on Impact as the Knockouts Women Champion. Chelsea Green could easily show up over there. She could easily show up over there and do an incredible job. You also have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, over on AEW Dynamite. Chelsea Green could easily go over to AEW as well and be a huge asset to their women's division. Now, Matt Cardona is also over at Impact. So maybe we could see Chelsea Green go over to Impact. She was over there before. There's a partnership going on. There could be some things where maybe she could cross over. I don't know. So I could see her going to either one. Samoa Joe, I have no idea, but I would love to see that dude end up in AEW. I would love, oh my God, the matches. Could you imagine the matches if Samoa Joe showed up in AEW? Damn. It would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Next up for the releases, we have Tucker and Kalisto. I have no clue what is going to come of those two. It's very sad, man. Them splitting up Heavy Machinery and just losing Tucker in the shuffle, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. And they just paired Otis with Chad Gable. I don't get it. Kalisto, don't get it either. I'm wondering, I haven't heard anything, I don't think, about these, but it'd be interesting to see how many of these were actually wanted. If these people were actually unhappy, because I could see a lot of them being unhappy. And, thank God this can put a nail in the coffin, if you will, to everyone saying that The Fiend wasn't actually Bray Wyatt and it was Bo Dallas. Well, I don't think Bo Dallas is out here working for free. So there's your sign that The Fiend was actually Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So no one else has a body like that, by the way. Just the spoiler. Bray Wyatt's the only person in the world that has that body shape. Just Looking says, I think Tucker wanted out. Yeah, I think so too. This man's got released, got fired from his job. The first thing that he does, he goes golfing and fires up a joint. What a legend. What a legend, man. Jeremy says, what's up, man? How have you been? Not very good, but I'm good now. Doing better, feeling better. So here we are doing a show. Leroy says, I feel bad for the people that got released last Thursday because most of them, it was their dream to be at WWE. Yeah. I feel you on that one. It's gotta suck. It's gotta suck to work that hard to finally get there and just have them not believe in you, Ashley says, pair Kalisto with Rey Fenix and Pac to form the Death Square. There you go. Sure. Although I feel like Pac would start to not make sense to be in that group if you just kept adding a bunch of masked luchadors, but WWE Emoji says, I heard that WWE wanted to start a women's faction that included Chelsea Green, Vanessa Bourne, and Santina Garrett. Interesting. I hadn't heard that. Hoodie says, I feel like AEW and NXT are the new Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Those are the only two good shows consistently on TV every week. And, even tonight when we have a meh episode of Dynamite, it's still way better than what we get on on Mondays and Fridays. So Warrior says, and the thing is, they need more main eventers. They had stories for Joe on both brands sitting in their laps, Hurt Business on Raw and Roman on SmackDown, all that wasted, right? And I'll never understand why they don't clear these people if they're able to just go somewhere else and get cleared. Is this just like an assertion of dominance of saying like, hey, you're not going to get cleared, so you're only going to be able to do commentary here, and they're trying to like force him out? Like, I don't know. We're just forcing him to stay in that position. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Basili says, I have a dream theory for Batman. What if they did Ben Affleck Batman versus Batman Beyond with Robin Pattinson? That'd be interesting. I don't think that they would ever put them together, though. I don't even think Ben is going to return aside from this Flash movie. Although I heard he said he would. He has 2 demands: a shit ton of money and restoring the Snyderverse. And I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Myself first says, what up, AEW? He is back. Yes, I am here, my friend. I am here. Travis says, which one was better this week, AEW or NXT? Personally, they were both equally great to me. I thought both shows were kind of meh to me this week, but I prefer Dynamite. I usually mostly prefer Dynamite. So next up in these other releases here, this one pissed me off. WWE has come to terms on the release of Billie Kay and Mickie James. I said, wow. Actually, you know what? What I really said? I said, damn. You really gonna do that to Peyton Royce and Billie Kay? You're gonna keep Peyton and get rid of Billie Kay? Oh, I was pissed. I'm like, man, these people have been together since the beginning of time in this entire wrestling journey. And this is how you're gonna do them? You're gonna split up a tag team and then fire one of them? Ooh. And then, thankfully, they released Peyton as well, which I was kind of like, okay, I can accept this now. At least they're both gone, right? These two are certainly going to find a place elsewhere. And if it's not on AEW, where Sean Spears is, I think they'd fit in great there. I think that they'd be great assets to BTE as well for the comedic side and stuff like that. I think they'd be fantastic for that. So I could certainly see them going there. In terms of going elsewhere, I honestly have no idea. Impact does have women's tag team championships, so they could go over there. I see that as a possibility. Mickie James, maybe she'll go to NWA with Nick Aldis. Maybe. I don't know. Kind of disgusting how they handled all of this. Very, very disgusting how they handled all of this. And it doesn't bother me that people get released. Of course, at the end of the day, they're a business, right? We all understand that. We all understand that a business is here to make money. It's the way that you do things, right? When you have these people and you say like, hey, I don't want to release you, but unfortunately, due to budget cuts, we're going to have to let you go. It's like, this is a giant crock of shit. Just tell us that you don't want them. You can't find a spot for us. Don't make up budget cuts. Don't make up budget cuts when you literally just had your your P&L statement or whatever out saying that you're making record profits for things. Don't show me that Shane McMahon made $870,000 as a talent for one match, but you can't find a spot on your roster for these people. Stuff like that is just, it's frustrating. Other than that, like, I get it. And I think all of these people, I think they'll be fine. It doesn't seem like Bo Dallas has any desire to wrestle. It seems like he's all about that farm life. So that's cool for him. All these other people, Samoa Joe will be fine. Chelsea Green will be fine. I'm sure Tucker will be fine. Kalisto will be fine. Wesley Blake seems to already be doing fine as well. So maybe those guys will link up again. This is also pretty messed up as well, is that you have the Forgotten Sons, right? And Jackson Riker is the one that screws everyone with his political statements that he made. He pissed off everyone. All three of them got in trouble. And he's the only one that's still with the company, and he was the one that was getting more TV time. How ass backwards is that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Peyton Royce will be fine. Billie Kay will be fine. And Mickie James will, of course, be fine as well. So, I wish them all the best. And I can't wait to see where they start popping up. I can't wait to see where they start popping up when all this stuff goes down. It'll be very exciting. It'll be very, very, very exciting. All right, let me scroll back up here so I can get to where we're at for the night. Trevin says budget cuts, probably because they spent all their money on that Bobby Lashley versus Miz timer. Oh, the clock. The countdown clock of doom. That they had to use over and over and over. Man, that's the only logical explanation I have for that, is that they spent so much money on it that they just had to run it back over and over. Delight says Rich Swann becomes AEW champion on Sunday. Yeah, right. Although, not gonna lie, if he did become AEW World Champion, it would be a huge shock. Huge shock. I certainly don't see it happening, but man, that'd be insane. I for sure, I have 100% have Kenny Omega winning, and I'm sure they all know that it's extremely obvious what's gonna happen. There's no way I see the AEW World Championship going to Rich Swann. No way. No way whatsoever. All right, so let's get into the show here. We got about 24 minutes or so. So let's see how fast we can talk about the show. Tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Oh, wait a second. It's been so long that I forgot. Before we get into the show, if you're here and you haven't already subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We're getting there. We are getting there. Very excited. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure to hit that like button as well. If you want to go that extra mile to help support the channel, you can become a fellow disciple by becoming a member. That join button is down below by the subscribe button if you want to do that. And also, super chats are open as well. And more importantly, I am alive. I am alive. All right. So let's get into the show. Tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite opened up with absolute Ricky Starks taking on Hangman Adam Page. This was a good match. Good opening match. Love me some Ricky Starks. The guy is talented. The guy is very great. And of course, Hangman Adam Page, one of my favorite wrestlers of today. So always a pleasure to see Hangman Adam Page on my screen. Mans just continues to rack up those W's. He is now 12-0 for 2021. 12 wins and 0 losses. You love to see it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your next AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Hangman Adam Page. He will be the one to kick out of the one-winged angel. He will be the one to dethrone the professional god of wrestling, Kenny Omega. Reader says, so Jade's getting a manager next week. Thea? I wouldn't mind that. I really wanted to see her be with like Santana and Ortiz though. Death Triangle would be interesting for Thea as well. I don't know. I hope that she is in AEW though. And man, I want to know what Andrade's doing. I gotta know where this man's gonna sign. I gotta know. It's killing me. Leroy says Kota Ibushi kicked out of the one-winged angel. Yeah, but isn't like, don't people like not count it or something like that for some reason? I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. I just know that everyone says that no one's kicked out of it still, even though he has. I don't know. Ashley says Hangman has poor interview etiquette though. I know, poor guy. You know, last week the what was it, Alex Marvez or whatever? He's like, hey, you know, your friends are back together and the Good Brothers are here. And, you know, you're ranked number 1 to face Kenny Omega. You know, how you feel about that? And he's like, yeah, man, Johnny, he's recovering very well. He'll be back in no time. And then he just like walks off. We're like, okay. Okay. Delight says, not yet. Kenny needs to get the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship first. Yeah, I'm talking down the line. This will be towards the end of Mr. Collector here, Kenneth Omega. You know, it'll be interesting to see how all of this stuff starts adding up. What is he going to do with the Impact Championship? Is he going to be on Impact more often? Is everyone going to be on Impact more often? Are the Young Bucks going to show up now that they're heel as well? Maybe the Young Bucks will show up and help the Good Brothers this Sunday to get their tag team championships back. I could certainly see them winning them back, you know, as Impact just gave him to Finn Juice to take him to New Japan, get some eyes on them, let them know what they're doing over there, and then give them back to the Good Brothers so that they could all be draped in gold, the Elite, all in gold. Reader says it was in 2012. So I wonder why people don't acknowledge it as being like canon. I don't know. Warrior says, love that Hangman is racking up wins, even though this feud with Omega isn't gonna be for a while. That's how you build up future contenders. Yeah. And dude, there's a lot. There's a lot of people with really good there's a lot of people with really good records in AEW. I mean, damn. I mean, we'll talk about this as we get on with the show, but Billy Gunn was 9-0? Huh? Like, what? What? I had no idea. Reader says, so, spoiler alert, Deanna has said on Busted Open Radio that she has filmed stuff for AEW calling out someone. That's going to be good, man. That is going to be good. Yes, I'm excited. I was really hoping that Deanna would be that surprise person when they had that surprise person in a match with Britt Baker, but it was not. But it was Maki Ito, so that was fine too. That was fine. Okay, so Hangman Adam Page wins the match. Can't complain about that. Another W for Hangman Adam Page in the W column, and then he is scheduled for a match next week against Brian Cage, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, Brian Cage and Hangman Adam Page next week as well. So looks like he's going to be continuously picking up some wins as well. Next up, we saw one of the wildest things that I've ever seen. It was an Elite trailer with all of them entering in. Matt Jackson was wearing some little shorts in a wild ass pattern. Nick Jackson was wearing the craziest like suit thing I've ever seen in my life. Doc Gallows had this crazy earring in, and Carl Anderson was wearing these like, I don't know if they were shorts that he just had scrunched up into like these little panties or whatever when they're walking in. But these these dudes are dressed crazy. They're really taking this like whole heel thing to the next level with their attire. It is absolutely insane. It's hilarious is what it is. Hilarious. Next up, we had our AEW Women's Championship match. We had Hikaru Shida defending against Tay Conti. And man, I wanted Tay Conti to win so bad. I'm over. I think most of you guys agree, are in the same place as well. We're ready to move on from Hikaru Shida. Nothing against her. I think that she's great. I think that she should have been the first women's champion, and it shouldn't have been Riho. But you know, what you gonna do? The thing that like bothers me the most here is that when you look at Breeder says you missed the MJF interview and Trent. Okay, you're right. So my mom called me to check up on me to see how I was doing. I did see some of the Penta and Trent match. It looked great. It did have an interference finish at the end, so I wasn't paying too close attention to that because I was talking to her. But Penta did get the win because Alec or Abrahantes, what's the guy's name? Alex Abrahantes, however you say his name, he interfered and hit Trent with a microphone, I believe. So that is how that match ended. From what I saw, it looked to be pretty good. The finish, just not for me. First interference win of the night, by the way. I missed the MJF promo completely. I did not hear a word that he said. Looked like he was screaming for a little bit. I hear a lot of people say that it was good. It was good, but I can't speak on that because I didn't actually hear it. Ashley says it's all fun and games until Mama AEW calls. I know, right? She was checking in on me to see how I was doing, and then she was telling me about how she's made like $70 on Dogecoin. So much like Cameron Grimes, Mama AEW is going to the moon thanks to Dogecoin, which is always a weird thing when you have people in your family telling you about cryptocurrency. Like, I don't know. Even my sister texted me the other day and she was like, yo, you got some of that Dogecoin? I'm like, no. No, I don't have Dogecoin. I'm sorry. So weird, man. So weird. Delay says one step closer to Adam Page and Christian Cage versus Brian Cage and Ethan Page in a steel cage match with special guest referee Nicolas Cage. Whew. It's one hell of a match, man. That's one hell of a match you got there. Okay, so now to the women's match. Here we are. So the thing that bothered me about this is that this was Tay Conti's 13th match. Meanwhile, on the other side of the board, this was Hikaru Shida's 3rd match, which is kind of odd, don't you think? 3 matches for the champion? Come on. And I know it's because of Dark and Elevation and yada, 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 yada. But still, like, you should have more matches than that. More matches. 3 is not enough. 3 is not enough. I had that same problem with Darby, so hopefully maybe they're trying to fix it now, but she needs some more defenses. That is for sure. 3 is not cutting it. 3 is not cutting it, but she was able to retain her championship, and after the match was over, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, came out, did the classical point up at the Titantron here where they showed the AEW rankings, where Hikaru Shida obviously was the champion, Tay Conti was ranked number 1, and then Britt Baker was ranked number 2. So after the match, they the Titantron or graphic, whatever, changed to Britt Baker being the number 1 ranked in the women's division. So that means that she is next up for a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. Hey, you know, I said I would love to see Conti win, but if her losing means that Britt Baker is the next women's champion, take my money. It's all worth it. I don't care. Britt Baker is so good. So good. She has done like a complete 180 with everything from that weird moment on the cruise where she turned heel and no one really knew what was going on until now. Like, she's been great. She's put on fantastic matches with Thunder Rosa. That hardcore match, that lights out match, whatever the hell it was, unsanctioned. I'll never forget that. That was a fantastic moment for the AEW women's division. She was one of the best parts of the pandemic episodes as well, even with like a broken foot or whatever it was that she had, where she was wheeling around in a wheelchair. It's all good, man. It is all good. So I hope this goes down at Double or Nothing, and man, I have my fingers crossed for an new AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Please. Trevin says Tay Conti should have won, but we'll settle for Britt Baker dethroning Shida instead. Yes, we will. Delay says Double or Nothing new women's champion. Let's go. Yes, please. Obi James says she pointed at the mean rankings. Yes. I saw first as prayers to EC3 hospitalized for over 5 days to an infection virus. What? I haven't seen that. Man, shout out to EC3, man. Shout out to EC3. I hope that he is recovering. I hope that he's doing well now. That's tough, man. That's tough. I hope that he's able to overcome whatever it is that he's dealing with and be back on top. Because, I've been a big fan of what EC3 has been doing since his departure from WWE. It's incredible. He's really proved everyone wrong. So prayers to him. I hope that he gets better. And hopefully we'll see him soon. Warrior says, I'd rather Shida won. No point in Conti being a transitional champion because we know Britt is taking the title anyways. Yeah, I would have hated that. I wouldn't have liked that. Not at all. That would have been terrible. Yeah, no, not good. Next up was a backstage segment, again, similar to the one last week with Miro. Still looking for Kip Sabian, and who just so happens to be on the card next week. Kip Sabian. So good luck with that one, buddy. But Miro had some funny things to say. He called Sting an evil-faced paint daddy. which I thought was hilarious and wild as hell. And he said that he was coming for some AEW Gold, and he's just not sure which one he's coming for. But I can tell you, it's not gonna be Kenny Omega. That's for sure. Because Kenny Omega, if you want some gold, your best bet is to not go up against Kenny Omega. It's not gonna happen. All right, not gonna happen. So if you want that W, you got to go after Darby Allin. You got to go after Darby. That is the only way to get some AEW Gold. And I think the story there is amazing as well. Like Darby Allin has been able to survive all this crazy shit from all these people. He's been able to overcome the odds and retain his championship multiple times over and over and over, which is great. That's how Darby is. That's how Darby's matches work. Makes a lot of sense. Miro, unstoppable beast. All right. Man's undefeated in singles competition. He only lost a tag match thanks to Kip Sabian. He's been booked like a beast. Whether you like the game story or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, he's been a beast this entire time. And he's undefeated. Singles competition. So, it's a great story to have a beast like Miro finally be the one to put down Darby Allin. Darby Allin's not going to be able to overcome the beating that Miro is able to dish out to him. At least not at a fast enough pace for him to recover and win the match. So I'm looking forward to this. I think this one's a no-brainer that this is what's going to happen. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see Miro with some AEW Gold around him. This guy, and inevitably, he's going to hold the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Miro's got to hold that championship at some point. Can't wait. I cannot wait. This is the beginning for Miro and AEW. I'm so excited. One of my favorites. Jaden says, sorry I'm late, but welcome back, AEW. No worries, my friend. Thank you. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. I need another cough drop because I keep coughing. If you haven't noticed, the mutes. I apologize, but better than hearing it. Break your ears. So yeah, excited for Miro here. Next up, we had another Inner Circle promo teasing Blood and Guts on May 5th. I'm so excited. And they also said that next week they're going to have an Inner Circle parlay with the Pinnacle next week where they will discuss battle plans, and they kind of showed off a sneak peek of the Blood and Guts setup, I guess, if you will. So they had the two rings next to each other, but the steel cage over the entire thing. So it's more so like a Hell in a Cell over two cages over the rings rather than a cage, because there's a roof on top of it. There's a roof on top of that bad boy. I'm excited for this. This is going to be really good. I can't wait. And a lot of people are saying, I think that they said that someone said it on AEW, that it's just going to be one match. Blood and Guts is just going to be one match. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Dropped my cough drop. Where'd it go? Oh, it's probably going to be all like carpety. Yeah, I'm going to just grab a new one. Yeah, I'm not going to have that. Skinny says, what are the ratings? I don't know. We'll find out next week. Or not next week. Not next week. I'm sorry. We'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will find out what the ratings are for AEW Dynamite. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully they're over 1 million. If they dip down after that 1.2, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. Ashley says Jericho was stoned AF during that promo. Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? His eyes were like bloodshot red. Last week's promo too. I noticed that. Jaden says send Miro to the moon. Yes, please do. So I'm very excited and looking forward to seeing what the Inner Circle and Pinnacle are able to do with each other in this blood and guts match. It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. Skinny says, wait, didn't you go to Takeover Portland? I've been following you since. Yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did. And thank you. That was a while ago. That was like one of the last things that happened before the pandemic, which is crazy to think about. Trevin says it might be one match, I guess. I mean, they haven't really said anything else booked for the show. Maybe next week we'll know for sure. I hope there's other stuff. I really do. Warrior says, I got Pinnacle winning. They'd benefit more. Yeah, I would agree. I would go with that one. That would be my guess as well. So next up, we had a match here with Billy Gunn taking on QT Marshall. More of the Nightmare Family versus the Nightmare Factory stuff going on here. And something interesting to note is that Billy Gunn is 9-0. And he's been unbeaten in his past 17 matches. Bro, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. So I learned something interesting the other day, and I can't remember where it was from. It might have been Dave Meltzer. But it made a lot of sense. So what I've been saying this entire time is it makes absolutely no sense that, like, they're not, no. Like, there's no reason for us to care about AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation. They don't really give us a reason to tune into it. We know what these shows are. AEW Dark essentially is just a bunch of squash matches. It's 2 hours and like 25 matches, right? I've heard the Elevation is a little bit better in terms of that, but the interesting thing that I found out is that they're doing it because eventually they want to come up with their own streaming platform or have content to fill for a streaming platform. So it's more so about putting out the content rather than the content itself. WWE does this a lot. They always prioritize quantity over quality. So maybe they don't give a shit if we watch Dark and Elevation. The other thing is that with the pandemic, they use it as a scouting tool. So all of those people that they have coming in there to face their talent, they're essentially scouting and paying attention to them and what they're doing. So kind of makes you look at Dark and Dark Elevation a little bit different. It's certainly not going to make me watch them in any way, but I still think that there is, like, they need to do something to get people like me to watch these shows because they're just not interesting enough. And when I see stuff like this pop up on my TV, it's so weird. Billy Gunn undefeated in his past 17 matches. I haven't seen this guy wrestle in like a year. So it's just weird. I don't know. Ashley says, sorry, OW, but I got to head out as I have an early morning piece. No worries, man. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night, my friend. Skitty says maybe AEW on HBO Max since AEW is a TNT and TNT is owned by WB and TBS. Sure. I have HBO Max, so I would love to see that. That'd be great. It's just weird. So this is our second interference of the night. Anthony Ogogo hits Billy Gunn with one of those grueling punches to the gut. And QT Marshall is able to take advantage and get the win. Afterwards, he grabs this weird-ass wooden chair that looks like it's from the 30s. And he's about to hit Billy Gunn over the back with it. And Dustin Rhodes comes out and even ups the odds. Dustin Rhodes is the one that grabbed the chair. And then Nick Camarado comes in and Dustin Rhodes breaks it directly over this dude's head. He doesn't flinch whatsoever. It's crazy. I mean, the chair was crazier looking than anything else, but it's pretty crazy. And it just kind of makes you think that QT Marshall isn't the one that's going to be walking away from all of this as the bigger person, per se. But Nick Camarado and Anthony Ogogo definitely seem like they could be on that list of guys that get the rub from all of this. So, be very interesting to see. I think that Anthony Ogogo, I think that guy could be a big star in AEW. I think so. I like the punch gimmick, the punch to the gut with the TKO, the ref stoppage. I like that. I like that a lot. So hopefully we'll see more of him and stuff like that. There wasn't a match announced next week, but he's actually not in it, which I thought was kind of odd as well. Next up, we saw the Elite in their trailer. This moment was great. Probably the best moment of the night, if I'm being honest. They were all kind of just shooting the shit here. And Matt Jackson was saying this is all elite wrestling. Elite wrestling. Not all Mox and Kingston wrestling. So they are the ones that put asses in seats in Japan. They're the ones that put those Bullet Club shirts on t-shirt stands across the United States. They are the big deal. They're the ones that made this revolution. They're the ones that were able to make AEW, not Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. It was great. These guys are all dressed like a bunch of weirdos, which was even better. I think it lends a lot to it when they're dressed like this. It's hilarious. While Kenny was trying to be a little bit more serious here, someone started honking their horn outside. Delight says, apologies, my man, but I gotta go. I gotta bounce. College calls. No worries, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure seeing you guys. So someone was laying on the horn outside, and they're like, look, this is a live show. We're trying to film a show here. Someone needs to go out here and tell this man to knock it off. Like, come on, let's go. Stop. Cameras go outside. It is Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in this big ass truck, and they ram right into the Elite's trailer. They get out of the truck. Mox throws a pipe, or hits their window with a pipe, and then eventually throws said pipe as well. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley enter the trailer, and they were nowhere to be found. So it looks like they managed to escape before getting hit by the truck, but they were long gone. And Eddie Kingston said they don't want none. And the great words of AJ Styles' theme song, they don't want none. They were out of there. So Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston as a team, yes. They're fantastic together. I love the dynamic between them. I like that they're badasses and that they can have fun. I like it. I like the dynamic between them. They're going to be great together. We've seen them for a little bit now, but it's always a pleasure to see them together. So hopefully they continue on with this. I can't wait. Warrior says Mox and Eddie Kingston, AEW's own bad boys for life. Yes, so good, man. So good. I love it. Elvis says, I think the next AEW champions will be Christian Cage, Miro, and Britt Baker. Interesting. I have Hangman Adam Page, Miro, and Britt Baker. Hoodie says Blood and Guts is gonna be such good shit. Yes. Especially if it's gonna be more than one match. Because that'll be kind of interesting. Let's see what's next here. So next up we saw Christian with another match here. Christian taking on Powerhouse. Hobbs, this match was great. You know, I think most of us were a little bit worried about Christian in AEW once he came out and kind of squandered around with Kenny Omega here, and you know, he picked up that AEW World Championship. I think a lot of people, including myself, were like, nah, bro, this is not for me. So I don't know if they heard that and they altered their plan, or if that was just some sort of weird one-off tease where, you know, they're like, you know, everyone's ultimate goal is to be at the top, right? So maybe that was just sort of a tease for that later on down the line, which is fine. But the direction that they've gone with Christian Cage so far, I like it. I like how he's going head to head with guys, and you know, they're kind of taking him to his limits, but with that veteran instincts, he's able to take advantage and pull off the win. So the story in this one, Hobbs celebrating a little bit too much, waiting a little bit too much. Christian Cage was actually able to take advantage and hit the kill switch, I believe is what they're calling it, in AEW now. So I like stuff like that. I like that he's out here. You know, a lot of people say that Christian is one of the greatest minds in wrestling I've saw that over and over with people talking about him, and then I saw it on the Randy Orton Broken Skull sessions as well, where he was talking about Christian being one of the best in the business. And maybe even Chris Jericho, I think on the Broken Skull, was saying the same thing as well. So I like that he's out there and he's able to help get some eyes on these newer talents like Powerhouse, Hobbs, and stuff like that. But he's still able to collect some wins. It's a win-win situation. I think everyone looks good coming out of it. And, Team Taz, unfortunately for them, they look up at the lights a lot. It's unfortunate, but, maybe that will change one day. But in their current state, that's what Team Taz is here for. They're looking up at the lights. But he was able to put on a good one, I thought, with Christian Cage. Very excited for that. Trevin says, Christian looked great. Glad they're building him instead of putting him straight against Omega. Yeah, I think that's what they need to do. I think they need him to, prove that he can still go, for one, which I think that he's done at this point. And just hang around with the guys, help elevate some other people. He's Christian. He can get to that world championship scene at the snap of a finger. It's not something he has to work hard to get up to. They can just make it work, and I think it's fine. And, Christian taking an L to Kenny Omega later down the line, I don't mind that whatsoever. I don't mind it. I think we're just so conditioned by WWE that every time we hear or see things like this, we just kind of get frustrated because we think that, Christian, he's picking up the AEW World Championship, so that probably means he's going to squash Kenny, right? And then just not defend it and not do anything with it and stuff like that. So thank God they're not doing that. Thank God. Very, very thankful for that. Jaden says, I think your stream is cutting out unless it's just me. It might be buffering a little bit because I'm dropping frames for whatever reason that is. But it's still in the red, but I don't know how to fix it. I think it just happens every once in a while. And you just kind of got to wait it out, unfortunately, which is super annoying. Oh, I think it's fixed. It went away, at least on mine, but I don't know. I'm just going to power through it here. And while we wait, I'll talk about the card for next week. So one of the things that I posted here is that I love how every week at the end of the show, AEW promotes the card for next week's Dynamite. It shows us that they actually put some thought into the shows they're running, as opposed to just throwing something together 10 minutes before the show goes on the air. It's super frustrating in terms of Raw when you hear that writers have written something and it gets ripped up 10 minutes before the show goes on air. So something that I really appreciate is AEW advertising their entire match card, or close to their entire match card, a week in advance. I like it. You can see what sort of stories are progressing. You can see where things are headed and stuff like that. It's great. Looks like we're back in the green. Looks like we're finally back in the green. Should be sorted out now. Should be sorted out. So matches announced for next week. They said this was a tag team eliminator match. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Buck, will be taking on Matt and Mike Sydal. Should be a good one. Chris Statlander will take on Penelope Ford, and Orange Cassidy is in Chris Statlander's corner, and unfortunately Kip Sabian is in Penelope Ford's corner. So maybe a wild Miro will appear next week and not be so happy to see that Kip has been avoiding him for 2 or 3 weeks. Next up, we have Penta El Zero Miedo taking on Orange Cassidy with Trent, ? In his corner. Should be a good one as well. Then we have the Nightmare Family being Billy Gunn, Dustin Rhodes, and Lee Johnson taking on The Factory, which is Nick Camarado, QT Marshall, and what's his name? Aaron Solo? With Anthony Ogogo ringside. Next up, we have Brian Cage with Taz and Ricky Starks taking on Hangman Adam Page. And then, of course, we have the Inner Circle parlay with the Pinnacle as well. Obi James says Impact does it as well. Oh, good. I'll have to, man, I'm considering watching Impact tomorrow, but I'm just not sure. It is the go home show for Rebellion. I feel like something's going to happen. I feel like something big has got to happen, right? I don't know. Trevin says AEW looks good next week. I also heard rumors that Vince was real late to Raw this Monday and just changed a bunch of stuff. I was so confused when Orton and Strowman wasn't happening. Yeah, they took that one off. Yeah, it's odd. Certainly odd. Especially like when they've been advertising it for days. It's always weird when they take stuff like that off the cards. Next up, we had our main event match of the night. Darby Allin defending his TNT Championship once again. This time against Jungle Boy. You love to see it. You love to see the AEW talent here doing their thing in the main event. Darby Allin. Everyone loves Darby Allin. The guy is fantastic. Guy is absolutely fantastic. He main evented last week's episode of Dynamite as well, defending his TNT Championship against Matt Hardy. That match was incredible. It was great. So Darby Allin is on fire right now. He was their wrestler of the week last week, I believe, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was wrestler of the week this week as well for his performance. So a lot of people love Jungle Boy as well, myself included. And, you know, I could see Jungle Boy being a TNT champion. I really could. You know, maybe a couple year down the line, I could see even Jungle Boy being the AEW World Champion. I think so. These guys are the future of the business without a doubt. So I don't even think they've gotten near to how high they can possibly go, if I'm being honest with you. Amari says, what's up, AEW? How are you feeling? Much better, my friend. Much better. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you asking. Doing better, though. So like I said earlier on, I thought this this part with Sting and Luchasaurus was very odd. There was a point where both guys were on the outside of the ring. Darby was able to make it back into the ring, and Jungle Boy got that really, really close 10 count. And it kind of looked like Luchasaurus may have helped him up a little bit to help him get back in the ring. And, you know, it was all like so nonchalant. Like, it didn't look like he did anything wrong. It didn't look like he pissed off anyone. It didn't look like he cheated or anything like that. So Luchasaurus just walks over to the other side of the ring, ramp side. And then out of nowhere, Sting walks up to him as well, gets in his face, and clotheslines him. I don't understand why. It was so weird. It made absolutely no sense. Like, I don't feel like Luchasaurus deserved to get beat up over that, over what he did. I don't get it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I get what's going on here. I see it. Sting and Luchasaurus, they're fighting because they're gonna leave. They're gonna go fight in the backstage area, right? So that leaves Darby Allin and Jungle Boy out here in the ring by themselves. So when Darby Allin defeats Jungle Boy and retains his championship, Miro can come out here and essentially kill him, and Sting won't be out here to save the day. I was close. But not quite right. Not quite right. So Sting and Luchasaurus do end up battling out of the arena area into the back through the tunnel, yada, yada, yada. So Darby Allin retains his championship against Jungle Boy, and he does get attacked, but not by Miro. It is by Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, which I'm not mad at that either. They haven't really done anything for the past 3 weeks. They've just been sitting up in the rafters laughing, having a blast, which is cool. Totally fine with that. I don't know. Maybe they've been on Dark or Elevation. I don't know. I don't watch, so I can't tell you, but they ended up coming out here and attacking Darby Allin and Jungle Boy slightly as well. But Lance Archer came out to even the odds, I guess, if you will, against them. And then Sting ended up coming out as well. So I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. At first, I thought that maybe Sting and Lance Archer were going to have a match. Then I'm kind of thinking maybe Sting and Luchasaurus are going to have a match. Now I'm like, okay, are Sting and Lance Archer going to take on Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page? Are Sting and Darby going to take on Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page? Where does Lance Archer fit into this? I don't know. Especially, I'm not sure if it was last week or whatever, but Sting was doing his typical come out and do a promo thing. Lance Archer interrupted him again and was like, look, bro, I deserve to be in the main event. And Sting was like, yeah, I agree. I'm confused as hell. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just want to see Sting fight these people. That's what I can tell you. I want to see Sting and Luchasaurus go at it. I want to see Sting and Lance Archer go at it as well. Warrior says, and people say AEW only pushed WWE guys. 2 AEW guys opened the show and main evented the show. You love to see it, man. You love to see it. I hope that'll be even better once they have their second show on TNT. I'm really excited for that. The sooner the better. Also, and I really hope that they come out with those trios championships as well. I need to see those. I need those in my life. Those would be so good for Jurassic Express, Best Friends, Pinnacle, be good, Death Triangle. Like, AEW has a really good trios division, which is insane to think about. And I'm very excited for that and the next show. I think it'll be great. Amari says, I don't watch AEW that much, but when I see your thoughts about the show, it makes me want to watch. Good. You should check it out sometime. This was kind of a meh episode. It was just a standard. It was good. 2 title matches on it. It wasn't anything like that blew us away this week. Last week's main event was really good though, if you want to check that out. Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. It was good. Trevin says, oh, that would have been dope if Miro came out, but it would have been more insane if Andrade came out. Wishful thinking. I know, right? Very wishful. I have no idea where that man Andrade is going to show up. The sooner the better, though, man. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see where he shows up. All right. Oh, God. All right. That is going to do it for me tonight. Still going to try to keep these at about an hour for now until I'm feeling like way better. Still fatigued. Still coughing like crazy if you haven't noticed. I've been sucking down cough drops this entire time. But I do want to, get some gaming streams going on. I think that when I feel better and some videos, there's a lot of games I want to play, especially Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and stuff like that. A lot of story-driven games and stuff like that. So that's next up on the card. That is next up. Before I get out of here, make sure that if you want to try to win an opportunity to watch Impact Rebellion for free this Sunday, tune into my Instagram sometime tomorrow morning. I will be making a post for a giveaway. You probably just have to leave a comment with saying something in there, and you will be entered to win. I will pick the winner for the Impact Rebellion key. That will go down after Impact goes off of the air tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it or not, but at the end of the show, I will pick a winner. And if that code is not claimed by the end of that night, then I will pick another winner in the morning. So make sure to get your opportunity to watch Impact Rebellion for free this Sunday. It is going to be a good one. We have a title for title match. Rich Swann defending his Impact World Championship against Kenny Omega, who is defending his AEW World Heavyweight Championship. There will be a winner. They said there is no bullshit going down. Someone will walk out with 2 or even 3, in terms of Kenny Omega, championships, with 2 or 3 championships on Sunday. Someone's winning them all. Someone is winning them all. I'm very excited. I think it's obvious that it's Kenny Omega, but you never know. Trevor says, you sound like you still got a cough. Hope you're 100% soon, man. We appreciate you and got my vote for Return of the Year. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, still getting there. Still getting there, but I feel better. I can do them. I'm not as gassed. Before it was like literally just walking from one room to another. It was like you needed a nap. The way that I always say it is like up for 1 hour, nap for 4 hours. Like that's how that's how it was. So feeling a little bit better. Returning to normal here. Feels great to be back. Feels great to hang out with you guys in chat. Can't wait to do it for Friday for SmackDown as well. And we will, of course, since I just completely forgot to mention it, we will be here Sunday as well for an Impact Rebellion post show as well. Should be a good one. Elver says, thank you for a great stream. Glad to have you back doing these post shows. Thank you, man, for tuning in. And thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys tonight, and a pleasure seeing you as well after being gone for a week. You know, it's been crazy. It has been crazy. So, all right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much. I will have the ratings for AEW tomorrow around 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got to crunch out some of those by the numbers as well. I'm a little behind on that, but thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on Friday for the SmackDown post show. Have a good rest of your night, and it was a pleasure seeing you all. Peace.